as your heart begins to slow down. Do not be afraid. You are at rest. You fall deeper and deeper. Your soul begins to separate from your body. You begin to feel the warmth of fire. This is the arrival to your final destination. Welcome to eternal damnation. You are now entering hell.
And I'm going to apologize in advance because my camera's being fucking stupid. Whatever. Y'all don't need to look at me anyway, so who gives a shit? So,
pulling your mic back a little bit.
Fuck. I don't fucking know.
Your little glitter mic there, it might be focusing on the shine.
Okay, whatever. I don't give a shit. Anyway, what's up, guys? What's going on? Sunday night, blah, 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 what the fuck ever. And we're about a month away from Camp Spooky. Dude, like, time flies, man. Yeah, ooh, indeed. Speaking of which, I dig Matt's Camp Crystal Lake background there. I like that. He moved up north, and now you know where he moved to. Yeah, absolutely. Before we get into anything, I do want to give a shout out again, and I know I'm shilling. I don't give a fuck. I can be bought. Carpe. We talked about, the groin powder, important. Smells. What is this? White jasmine scent, of course. Yeah. Then they also have sweat-absorbing face lotion. So those of us that are going to be wearing makeup during Spooky, we got you covered. And I have tested this, and absolutely, it fucking works. And in Florida humidity, that's saying something, And we talked about, the junk and underboob lotion and antiperspirant wipes, which good for on the go. Highly recommend, absolutely, mycarpe.com. Smell good. There we go. So, Rob, hey, how you doing? What you drinking? What's going on?
Well, tonight I'm enjoying a gin and tonic. My
gin and cocktail.
Fancy.
Yeah.
I haven't put the lime wedge there because when you have a lime, let's face it, you're kind of classy. Mm-hmm. I mean, any jackass can mix two things and call it a cocktail, but when you add the lime, you got shit going on in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
in the dollar store cup there, absolutely.
I'll have you know this was not a dollar store cup. This was from no, I think it was like TJ Maxx.
So much better.
So that's a solid step up from a dollar store. Thank you very much.
If you say so. All right. So what you been watching this week?
Not a goddamn thing. I have been basically just been playing stupid shit on my phone, and I've been prepping Call of Cthulhu. I have 2 games of people that I'm trying to play, and slowly but surely I'm chipping away, and
I was going to be part of that. What happened?
You want to play? You want to
play?
All right.
Yeah.
I'll bring you the group. Everyone else is dragging their fucking ass, so why not? Yes. Trust me, you're not behind at all.
Okay. And hello, Randy. Hello, everyone in the chat, by the way.
Randy, hello.
So Matt, how are things up in the Great White North?
They're good. They're very good. The weather was really nice today. It's been cold, but today was really nice. It was like 61.
That's cool. So what do you, other than like redoing the house? I mean, you've been watching anything, working on anything?
We decided to binge The Shield back from 2002. A great show. was kind of like the pre-runner to Sons of Anarchy.
Oh, okay.
And then I've been watching Fallout, which is actually really, really good.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about the Fallout.
I haven't played any of the games, but now I want to.
Yeah, no, I've been wanting to watch it. I've tried playing the game; it did not click with me.
No,
but I still love the concept, and it depends which one you play because there's like half a dozen. So, look at this!
But it gives me hope for Borderlands. TV series.
Thank you, Robbie. That's right. MC 900 Jesus. He still has fans out there.
That's pretty fucking cool. And actually, we've actually got a couple of people that go to Spooky. No Sleep Cosplay is what they go under, but they do like Fallout costumes and stuff like that. They do amazing fucking props, and some of their props actually made it onto the show. So that's a big fucking thing. Yeah, that was pretty fucking cool.
That's very cool.
Yeah,
very, very cool show.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things, man. I'm slacking in my
Scary in the house.
That's right, Uncle Scary. So Matt, what are you drinking there? Anything interesting?
Ginger ale with blackberry juice.
That's actually much more interesting than Rob's gin and tonic. Yeah, I like that. Appropriate. Yeah. I made an attempt to try to watch the Lisa Frankenstein because we know the star of the movie. What's her name, Rob?
I don't know.
Yeah, I forgot too. The star of Lisa Frankenstein is going to be at Spooky. I was like, okay, I should at least try to give it a watch because it showed up on my TikTok. I gotta be honest. Lisa Frankenstein was made for 12-year-olds, and I wouldn't show this to a 12-year-old in a coma. It was one of those things what people say the 80s were, so they're trying too hard to be 80s when actually not being 80s, and I understand it's supposed to be over the top and cheesy and tongue-in-cheek, but it completely missed the mark, and it is probably one of the most painful movies I've ever seen.
Oh, Catherine Newton.
That's her name.
And apparently, I guess the Frankenstein boy or the zombie boy that she puts back together.
The Johnny Depp wannabe.
That's actually one of the kids from The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
Are you serious?
That's Cole Sprouse.
No.
AKA Adam Sandler's son and Big Daddy.
No, seriously?
Apparently. Well, he's in it. I'm assuming that's him.
No, I don't think
I did see that Guillermo del Toro's shooting his version of Frankenstein right now. So that'll
be interesting. If nothing else, it'll be pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Guillermo del Toro is all about his monsters and he's all about the visual. So 100% here for it. Yeah, Lisa Frankenstein. Fuck Lisa Frankenstein. Sorry, And I just had to show off the shirt. Let me see if I can actually tilt this down a little. Just for those of you that seen Late Night with the Devil, I went out and got a shirt. Yes, I did. I'm that person. I make no apologies because I thought it was awesome and I absolutely still recommend it to everybody. So, all right. So as far as what's going on, so Rob, what is this about Michael Gross canceling?
Michael Gross canceled. That pretty much sums it up right there.
Okay. I didn't know if you wanted to elaborate.
Yeah. So Michael Gross, who was really coming as a part of Tremors. That was, his calling card in the horror community. But I'll always know him as the loving father of Family Ties.
He's Mr.
Anyway, he canceled. He had a filming schedule change. So he's making movies, folks.
Maybe he's making 30. Yeah, I was gonna say maybe he's making Tremors 18.
There was a Tremors series, right? I'm not making that up. There was a TV show.
There was. I think there was only one season, if it even got that far.
Was that on Sci-Fi Network, like way back in the day?
Probably.
It seems like it should have been on Sci-Fi.
Probably.
All right. Well, anyway, he won't be showing up. There are, they have said they will try to bring him to. All right, Randy confirmed it. Tremors the series was on Sci-Fi, but it was before it was Sci-Fi with the Y's, wasn't it? Back when we were still properly spelling it. Anyway, that doesn't matter. Michael Gross won't be there. They might bring him back for October if his schedule allows. And they haven't. They said that they don't replace people. So not.
Sure.
So it's not like they're.
If they were going to, this would be the show to do it. But
I'd like them to bring Justine Bateman in now.
That could be. No, Jason Bateman.
Jason Bateman's too busy. He's got TV shows going on. Justine Bateman hadn't done a goddamn thing in 20 years.
Yeah, but Jason's a lot more fun than Justine.
You don't know that.
Fun.
You don't know that. She was
Tina Others.
Tina Others. You know what? She's doing nothing.
I was going to say, isn't she dead? She was dead.
No. Tina Others is doing just fine. She was on Celebrity Wife Swap a while back. Which is not nearly as dirty as it sounds. Just so we all know.
Thinking of what was her name? Dana Plato from.
Okay, Dana Plato.
Dana Plato's very dead.
Yeah.
Not
like on the scale of like dead being a little dead and very dead, she's very, very dead.
No, she's rotten in the ground now. Yeah, absolutely.
There's probably not much left of her because she died like 95.
Probably sooner than that.
Something like that.
Late 80s.
No, it was in the 90s because she made a video game for the Sega CD called Night Trap. It was one of the first full motion video games. And so she was in that, so she had to live long enough for that. But I know she didn't last too much longer after that. And then she did the softcore porn film and then, started doing.
What I was thinking of. Okay.
Yeah. No, Tina Others led a very normal life. She tried to start a band. She dyed her hair black.
I could see that.
Simply trying not to be recognized.
So now I might just have to go down that rabbit hole because that could be interesting. But yeah, speaking of interesting, so Spooky has decided, along with Camp Spooky, they are bringing back their pool float contest.
I don't want to brag. I placed on that last time.
You don't want to brag, huh?
I don't want to brag, but I am. I did. Giant mega unicorn that I had to blow up, by my just. That was not easy.
That was interesting watching him blow up the unicorn. Yeah.
But
I think there were TikToks made of that. But yeah, so they're going to have a pool float contest. I think you just might get a medal or something like that, and just bragging rights as Rob has. So it'll be interesting what people bring out this year. I'm hoping it's not the same thing that we saw last time. So I saw like about 50 of the same kind of floats out there. And
I will say this: if anyone rides an inflatable penis, I will buy you a drink.
Why don't you just go get one?
I don't really want one. I don't. Why? I don't want one. I don't want it.
No, that's
after it's over, just hand it to Katie and be like, here's your trophy.
Once you've purchased an inflatable penis, that's on you. The government writes your name down. So but if somebody else wants to buy an inflatable penis and lounge on that in the pool, you got your first cocktail is on me.
Okay. The penis has been thrown down. Now Randy's comment is fucking hilarious. You got to highlight that shit there.
No, completely true. True and accurate.
And actually, there is something else that we're going to announce before. There's much more important news. Bora Brewington is coming back to Spooky. I'm going to be there for my birthday weekend, and that's the custom I'm more excited about than anything else. Is fucking having Bora back. She is a fucking blast, and watching her interact with the celebrities and the kids and everybody else, it's an absolute delight. It's worth the price of admission just for that.
If you don't know who she is, you'll hear her from the parking lot.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, you can't miss that cackle, man. You cannot miss that cackle.
It's a witch that has a slightly Geechee accent from Salem, Massachusetts.
Wait, did you say Geechee?
Geechee, yeah.
Geechee. I have never heard the term Geechee before.
It's like a deep South Carolina thing.
Oh, Laura. All right, so me and Laura are celebrating birthdays together. Awesome. Yay. But yeah, so
Justin.
Woohoo. So Bora is going to be there, and that is better than any of the guests there. I'm sorry, including Twilight and Alice Cooper. Love them as I do. Bora's better. Just saying. But and speaking of other things going on, so the bands that are playing, the one that's playing Friday night is called American Party Machine, and I believe they've been at Spooky before.
And that response is exactly what you're going to get. They were somebody loves them. That's all I can say. I wish I was one of them. there you go. Moving on.
Yeah.
As most of us will.
Mr. Frost with Jeff Goldblum is a good horror movie. Agreed. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but thank you for your comment.
We appreciate your comment, sir. We will highlight it. We like Jeff Goldblum.
We love Jeff Goldblum.
We do.
It's not just like, yeah, we Jeff Goldblum. Yeah. Anyway, scissors. Anyway, then we also have on Saturday night, $1 Billion Babies. Mm-hmm. $1 Billion Babies, which is an Alice Cooper tribute band. I don't think I've ever seen an Alice Cooper tribute band.
You know, you almost, well, okay, here's the reality. Great stage show. So on a stage presentation level, it completely makes sense why you would have an Alice Cooper tribute band.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to have a ton of people who love the music, though. It's theatrical, and that's why people love it. But, you know, it's like, what are your top 5 Alice Cooper songs? Can you name top 5 songs that you love by Alice Cooper?
Look at the audience you're talking about, though. I mean, there are a lot. I mean, there are people that have watched all the Friday the 13th, got the posters for everything, and got the cast to sign every single one of them. Like Friday the 13th, part 12, and you've got people that have signed that. So, you know, there are people that are going to be big Alice Cooper fans and probably like jazzed about the tribute band.
No, I'm actually, you know,
not just for the stage show though. I'm just saying fans of Alice Cooper.
I'm sure
well, here's the thing.
You know what? I mean, the fact is, Alice is probably doesn't have the energy to do the stage show like he once did. So it's, you know, when other people take it over, like, you know, I never saw Kiss, but I did see Kiss Army perform, and they were fucking amazing. So, you know, I wouldn't
be surprised if Alice would actually get up and perform a song or two with them, and that's what I would be looking for.
He's actually right. He's right.
Seems like something that he would do.
All right, so just people are defending it. So yeah, it's Robbie. It's funny. Matt chimed in with the exact same thought, and Allison is defending the catalog of music. So Allison, there you go.
He's absolutely right. You know, I mean, there's a reason he's stayed around as long as he has, and not to mention, I mean, the Hollywood Vampires. That, I mean, you say what you want, you know, Johnny Depp, blah, 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 but Alice Cooper is part of the magnetism of that group. So I'm just saying.
You know, it's funny. I just thought for years and years and years, every time people ask for guests, you always got a Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp, bring Johnny Depp. He's not able to get work as easily as he once did. Keep asking, folks. I have a feeling it's going to happen one of these days.
I disagree.
I think Johnny, come on.
As I say, I think we're probably going to end up with Marilyn Manson before we end up with Johnny Depp. So I'm just saying.
I'd almost be saying we did end up with Rob Zombie before we end up with Johnny.
See, now there's the one guy. Who's the most ridiculous guest that you think actually has a chance of being at Spooky? You know, okay. That's
right, so, you know, we have to do. I'm going to have to figure out how to do polls on this. It's not an option, but one of these days. But it's like, who do we have on that list? We have Gene Simmons.
Oh yeah, Ozzy Osbourne,
Rob Zombie, Johnny Depp, Marilyn Manson.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think goes? One day,
well,
one of them are
doing it, so Ozzy could honestly do it.
But yeah, I was just saying, at this point,
$666 to make that happen.
$600. And I don't know if y'all got $666, but
I don't think Ozzy's going to do too many of them. I think he, you know, they did it and they're kind of like, but.
Yeah, I think Jack will do it because I mean Jack apparently is big into, especially he's getting into the paranormal now. I don't know if you watch his podcast at all, but he's like super into the ghost hunting and paranormal shit and urban legends and stuff like that. And he's like super into that shit now, which is why I think it's not going to be too long before we see him at Spooky.
I don't think that's exciting at all. I don't care about Jack Osbourne.
You know, but it's not just you. Yeah. Jamie Lee Curtis. Yeah. Oh, and Jamie Lee Curtis also has to be on that list too. Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah. But yeah, by $1 Billion Babies, it is going to be interesting to see if Alice Cooper actually gets on stage with them. So I don't know what the over under is on that, but I think Matt may have a point. I didn't even think about that.
I don't think it'll happen, but I would not rule it out. I would not say not happening. I don't give it 50-50, but I give it not much less. I'd say you got a 40% chance of it.
You know what? Stranger things have happened at Spooky. That's for damn sure.
Stranger things have been at Spooky.
See, now what's the over under of Alice Cooper jumping up with the band while there's an inflatable penis in the pool?
Well, I think that just makes it more likely. So somebody needs to bring an inflatable penis for the pool float party.
And it needs to be like a Frankenstein inflatable dick, and it has to be done during Feed My Frankenstein.
Ooh, that's interesting. Okay. Kind of like that. It's kind of frightening from a guy's perspective, but I could, yeah. Okay. Stranger Things. All right. Absolutely. All right. And then we had our first announcement for Charleston, South Carolina, which is actually Rob's birthday weekend.
It is.
Yes. And Malcolm McDowell. And God, I'm trying to remember the last year Malcolm McDowell was at Spooky, because it's been a hot minute.
I believe it was.
Yeah, Rob's
wasn't he there with Lance Henriksen?
Yes.
And Robert? I think that was the last time he was there.
Okay. Rob would remember what year it was. I don't remember.
It's funny. I remember the first year he was
Sir Malcolm. There. I'm sorry, Lee. You're absolutely right. Sir Malcolm. Let me say it properly.
He went the first time in 2008, and I remembered that.
Yeah. And there was another time after that, and I don't remember what year it was, but it was a while ago. And Malcolm is an absolutely darling guest. He is so delightfully just dry British.
It's funny. A kind of a funny story. The first when he did the Spooky back in 2008, that was his first convention ever, if I'm not mistaken. Because
you'd know that better than I would.
He was shocked at how much money he made that weekend. His driver on the way home was just like, "I've made $25,000, whatever it was." Which back then, convention prices hadn't spiked quite as much yet, but he'd made a ton, and he was thrilled about it. And he was already trying to come back to the next one, and someone was explaining to him, his driver, one of the hosts, was like, "No, you don't go every year. You wait a little bit, and then you come back, after a few to kind of, let the audience cycle up a little bit." But I'm sure he's a pro at it now.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I'll tell you what, man, his panel is fucking amazing. The stories that man has.
Yeah, that's a great first guest for Charleston.
Yeah, what were you saying, Matt?
So he's a Caligula, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched Caligula? I'm just curious.
Huh?
Have you watched Caligula?
I have not.
Okay, I don't know anyone who actually has seen it. That's the funny thing. Oh, you
watched it? Yeah, no, I watched it. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I watched a big chunk of it. So
a giant orgy in it.
Exactly, which is why I had to look it up. I'm like, okay, yeah.
The story, for anyone who doesn't know, the movie was made. It was in middle of the way. Financially, it wasn't. They were in trouble. Bob Guccione of Penthouse magazine ended up financing it, and then threw in orgy scenes and tons of sex scenes. And just, he made it very graphic. And then, fun fact, every issue of Penthouse from that, for the next 20 years or whatever, had an ad in it for Caligula.
Oh, and then Justin had to point out, it's not just an orgy. No, it's not just an orgy. It's an orgy with Malcolm McDowell. There's a difference. Just saying. But that's actually going to be really interesting. So that's the first guest that they've brought in. Now, who do you think? I'm thinking the next guest is probably going to be. I saw one of their ads had Pinhead. So I'm assuming Doug Bradley is going to be announced as well. I don't know what
the first announcement.
Real quick, hold on. No, wrong one. Davey, hello.
The mayor of Spooky Empire.
No, and Justin, real quick on this point, he's not a participant. The reason was all those scenes were shot after the fact and then inserted into the movie.
Yes.
So, most of those actors didn't even know that stuff was going to be put in. So that's one of the reasons that they all kind of disown it.
And it's the only reason anybody watches it to this day anyway. So let's be honest, just to be able to say they saw the orgy. But yeah, so it's interesting. So I'm curious in the chat if who's not only coming to Spooky next month, but who's also going to be making the South Carolina show.
We'll be in South Carolina for sure.
Oh. So are you vending in South Carolina?
Yep, we've already got the table booked and all that stuff. So we will definitely be there for sure. And starting tomorrow, Dragon's Con is supposed to start letting people know if they got in. So hopefully if we get that, then we're going to be doing Spooky, and then we'll be driving straight down to Atlanta and doing Dragon Con.
Wow. Shit.
So
I wish this for you.
Oh, please. This shit wasn't cheap.
So as far as spooky news, that's more or less all we have. Unfortunately, there's really not a lot of talk, I guess. Rob's looking like he's looking at something serious there.
Sorry, I'll be joining you back in a second. Okay, here we go. I'm back. No, that pretty much sums up everything I think that they've got going on at.
Alex Vincent is both. That's actually a good point. It's interesting. Alex, we've known Alex since the first Spooky, and it's interesting watching his resurgence since the new Chucky series, and seeing the lines that he has now. It's good for him. It's bizarre. You know, it's like watching your next door neighbor become like a big celebrity all of a sudden. It's bizarre. But hey, you know what? Good for him. But there are other conventions going on in Florida, and because we like to represent the entire fandom, we of course, attend other conventions. And we gotta say, Spookala. We actually made it out for Spookala, and I'll tell you why. Right there. They booked the Boulet brothers. I said, fuck it, I gotta be there. So I met the Boulet brothers. Of course, they're intimidating as fuck. They're darling and wonderful, and I adore them. And I was starstruck like a motherfucker. But they were fantastic. The lines for them were just beyond all beyond. And the show that they put on, it's like getting to watch Boulet Brothers Dragula, like literally like you're in the studio audience live. Blackberry was there. Landon Sider, who was the Drag King winner of season 3, and of course my darling, my baby, local bitch done good, Victoria Elizabeth Black, who is like just goddess to me. So that was fucking fantastic.
Yeah, so the guests were good. Other thoughts as far as the convention goes. It's a convention in a convention hall with a cement floor, so you want to die at the end.
I'll tell you what, man, and that's something a lot of people tend to overlook. Cement floors on your feet all day is a fucking bitch. It is nothing to be fucked with.
Yeah. It's funny. There's always the back and forth between Spooky and Spookala, and I will tell you what, Spookala is more like MegaCon. It's kind of like a one-day thing.
Yeah, and I think that's the big difference that a lot of people aren't really comprehend. There really is no war because they're two very different things. Spookala is a one-day thing. You go, vendors, guests, blah, 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 where Spooky is like a big dysfunctional family reunion. Just not even the same thing, Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm super excited that, like I said, Spookala, they're already announcing some October guests. So, but yeah, if you want to do Spookala, I absolutely recommend doing the one-day thing. We actually saw a lot of spooky people at Spookala too. I think at least a dozen.
Yeah, no, and it was like I said, it's good guests, and that's what it's for. You go for a bunch of guests. Mm-hmm. You do a one-day thing. Here's the bad stuff. Like the guests, that's why you go. You go for the guests.
Yeah.
The not so good is the parking lot was huge. We didn't show up at the beginning, so we walked a good long, and there were no direct traffic either, which made it just like it wasn't insane, but you had to kind of figure out where you were going. There's one show in there really wasn't any place to sit. It's like if you line for something, you could maybe sit at where the panel was being held, or you could go outside and sit on the cement. I don't know. It was that stuff. It's like, that's why it's a one-day show. It's not something you would hang out for, but again, we saw the Boulet brothers and that was fucking awesome. And their show.
And Allison is reminding us that Eli Roth was there, and yeah, Eli Roth was there and that was fucking cool. He seemed a bit overwhelmed, but he's been doing these conventions for a while now. So I wouldn't be shocked if he's at Spooky before too long.
I'm sure about overwhelmed. About the one person that was overwhelmed, the Mr. Rory.
Mr. Rory Culkin. So, yes.
This is a kind of a
pictures I saw. Just like,
yeah. Apparently, Rory this was his very first convention ever. Rory Culkin was the kid in Signs.
Mm-hmm.
back in the day, and I guess he's in one of the more recent Scream movies. I couldn't tell you which one.
And he also did American Horror Story Apocalypse, where I think he was it's like a serial killer, like a Manson serial killer in it. So,
but anyway, it was apparently he did not know what he was getting into, and I guess he's really shy, and he was miserable. Like, you can't find a picture of him without just this, either a look of horror or unhappiness. It's like, this dude just does not look like
he wants to be there.
He was doing everything he could.
Back home.
He clearly wasn't that good of an actor because he couldn't fake it.
But see, on the other end of that spectrum, David Arquette was there. David Arquette's been doing these for a while now. But it's like we got the opportunity to see Dave at Spooky, actually, when he came to, The Tripper, when he was screening that movie. We actually got to see him at his first convention, and it really was like a kid in Disneyland. Watching his reactions to everything was amazing and wonderful, and obviously he became one of us. But it's just so fun seeing, just like in all the pictures, he's got this big wide-eyed wonder look, like what the fuck, which is interesting because you can't really freak out David Arquette because David Arquette is Bozo the Clown now,
literally.
And he's literally Bozo the Clown, and he actually like performs as Bozo the Clown, so you can't freak out David Arquette easily. But apparently we managed to do it. But he kept coming back, so Now the other guest that I gotta say that we need to bring up is Matthew Lillard, because that guy he's become legend as far as celebrity guests go. This is someone you can just stand by the line for hours and just watch his interactions with the fans. Unfucking believable. It's the eighth wonder of the world. It's fantastic. This is a guy who genuinely loves every single person that comes up to him. The nicest fucking guy. And it was just awesome watching him at Spookala and watching the girls fangirl and cry like it was the fucking Beatles. And he was darling with every single one of them. And it was amazing. He was fucking awesome. But yeah, as far as the convention itself, the signage for the parking could have been better. We were not happy with the lack of places to sit. The food, food at a convention hall. Need I say more? But other than that, everything was great. One of the shout outs I want to give out specifically is Murder on Main, who they've done Spooky as well. You've seen him. He's done those amazing Beetlejuice black and white looking caftans. It looks like a circus tent. Fucking outstanding. Tyler's done an amazing job. And apparently the vendors did better this time around, which I'm like super happy to hear.
There weren't a lot though. That's the interesting thing. The vendors, I'm not saying it was like 3, but it really wasn't a huge group of vendors. A lot of authors were mixed in with the vendors too. Like it seemed like every 7 or 8 booths was somebody else, with their books. But
and we saw a lot of spooky vendors there too. That was interesting. As a matter of fact, Matt, we were thinking of you because the guy that was at the Got Caricature, that guy that does like the really weird. Yeah, so apparently we saw him there, and it's like we're gonna have to have him on the show at some point. You guys might have seen him at Spooky. He has like the big, weird, like cartoon like busts of like horror icons. So hopefully he'll be there in May. That would be absolutely awesome.
Just breaking news just popped up on my computer, so I thought I'd share with all of you. Apparently, somebody won the Masters tournament. I couldn't tell you anything.
Right here. Imagine that.
Okay. All right, Lee is asking, did he get taller? Matthew Lillard? It's funny that you mentioned that because it does seem like Matthew Lillard has gotten taller. It's interesting. He seems like he just towers over everybody. Maybe everyone else has gotten shorter. Who the fuck knows? But we had a good time at Spookala. I enjoyed myself. I'll probably go back for a one-day thing. So there we go. Now, Rob, what is this about Tampa Bay Screams?
All right. So, yeah, I mean, just to, there are others out there, and I'm the only 80-year-old in the group, Rob. Stop it. Fair enough. There's another horror convention in Tampa Bay, and it's a tiny little thing, but they have kind of found their niche. And it's called Tampa Bay Screams. It's the end of June. And I think they tried to start out as a horror convention, and I think they quickly realized, like, look, they get, about 500 people show up at most. They can't do big guests. So what they do is they've kind of found their spot as like the B movie. They bring in B movie stars in like the low budget horror, like the ultra low budget horror. stuff, the shit that like, just barely makes it on Tubi. And for the record, if you haven't looked at some of the movies on Tubi, holy crap, it's beyond bottom of the barrel. But some people really like that. In fact, I will say this: bad movies were actually better once upon a time. The new bad movies don't even have the budget that they used to back in the day.
Like Lisa Frankenstein. Anyway, sorry, didn't that?
Yeah. So anyway, I just thought I would go over this because it's Fred Olen Ray is going to be there.
Rob's like favorite person ever.
Yeah, he's the guy. He's a legend in my world. He makes a lot of these B-rated movies. He then later went on and transitioned to making softcore porn, and then from there, he made a bunch of the Hallmark Christmas movies. It's like, how the hell does somebody go with? And he still makes the trash films, the trash cinema. He did Piranha Women, which featured mutated women with piranha teeth in their mouth and on their nipples. It was
there's a subreddit for that.
Yeah. So I won't go through the whole list because honestly most people won't even recognize the majority of the names, but there's a handful that you might know one way or the other. I mentioned Fred Olen Ray. Next on the list is Michelle Bauer. She was the star of Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers. She also showed up, and hold on. I've got my copy over here.
Oh, dear Lord, of course he does. Oh, and we'll talk about Phantasm in a second, Lee.
Evil Tunes.
Yes.
She's in Evil Tunes. This was the low budget version of like Horror Roger Rabbit. It was bad. Who else is on this? Seth Sklary, who starred as the zombie in Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things.
Oh, dear God. All right. Yeah, that is okay.
Some people, that's a movie that like it's bad, but some people still kind of know it.
It's not bad. It was just one of like the first like 70s horror movies on TV.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, April Hunter, who went from Playboy model to pro wrestler to movies like The Meat Puppet.
Of course, as you do. Natural progression.
Yeah, as you do. Sure. And then the one name I thought was kind of funny because she has been at Spooky as just a person. Sushi Chevette Holden?
Ah, yes. Cosplayer extraordinaire.
Yes, she basically went from cosplay to pinup to star of Death Escort Service 2 and 3. I really respect her for not going to 4 because I think 4 is when they lost the plot. And Swamp Woman. So she's in making low budget movies in Florida. So Justin, I think I just named like 4 or 3 out of the 4 movies she's done, but they're there. She's doing stuff. Good for her.
Yeah. But speaking of conventions, like we were curious as well as like what's happened to Phantasm because they just seem to have like dropped off. I mean, Rob, do you know anything about
I think
Phantasm?
I think it's done. I don't remember them officially hanging up their hats, but I do know that it's like they went from like their nice hotel, then they went to the DoubleTree, and I think they just, they weren't getting an audience. Like I saw the pictures at the last show, and Brian and I got thrown out of the last one. Well, good for you. Oh my God.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna need that story.
Yeah, I think I do too. But yeah, it's again, they didn't have anyone going, and after 3 years, like how much money can you throw at something? So
it's true.
I think it was they never quite got an audience. Again, it was a shame. That first year was fun.
Yeah,
2019.
And we, because we've been doing this for so long, we tend to enjoy and relish the yesteryear of conventions, basically where you go for a day. Like I said, Spookala was very much like that. And we appreciate that because unfortunately, and that's the other thing, and I don't necessarily blame Spookala for it. I think it's just the way of the world now. But when I got this done, I did my best to, dress up as the Lost Boulay sister. and I barely got like 2 words out before there's like click next. Which, you know, we've been very fortunate that a lot of times when we meet these celebrities, we actually have stories. I mean, every single one of us on here has a plethora of stories with different celebrities. But unfortunately, these days, you know, that's what happens now. It's evolved to the cash cow service. So it's like, okay, you take your picture, click, next, you know, and that kind of disappointed me. What?
It also depends on the company, the photo op company they use, because I know Celeb
Photo Ops. Yeah, that's the one I had. They kind of rushed me out.
Yeah, those guys. They pushed people through quick. When what was it? Froggies was doing it.
Froggies.
It was a little bit slower, and if they would, you know, if they screwed up the picture, they'd say, "Hold on, do another one," and do that.
Well,
they just want to get it out,
Froggies, get it out. Yeah, unfortunately, Froggy's dead. So you know.
Yeah, well, I know, but it just depends on the company, you know.
Of course.
When I met,
I thought that was kind of a monopoly, though.
Pretty much, it's got to be by now. I mean, if Froggy's gone, and now this company's coming in, and they're doing all the shows. Yeah, but it was the same thing when I met Stan Lee at MegaCon right before he passed away. It was like, you know, we spent all this money to take a picture with the guy and talk to him, and it was like, it's like, oh, what a shame.
You know, and then those of us that have been watching the whole convention news thing, you guys have seen like when Susan Sarandon and Gina Davis were at MegaCon, and there's like this whole, not even just a partition, there was like a table of them 6 feet away.
Or some shit.
Yeah, and just something where you look at 2 different rooms, and unfortunately, and that's something that a lot of people paid money for. You got nothing else. Click, hi, boom, next. So it's disappointing, and I would love to see that change, but I don't think it's going to, unfortunately. I think if you're going to be paying for the big names at at these conventions, unfortunately, you'll get a good picture. But
what you do with that is you vote with your money. You know, just stop getting photo ops. If that's what the photo op's going to be, don't do it. And then when they stop making the money off of those photo ops being set up that way, they'll stop doing it.
Well, what's disappointing is a lot of the. Yeah, a lot of the current convention goers, a lot of the newer ones that are coming in don't know that they have an option. And I think that's where the big problem lies, unfortunately, is a lot of these newer ones, they have no idea. It's like, oh, there are other options. I can actually go up and talk and say hi and get an 8x10 signed. But we've bitched about this forever. So, and it's interesting with Spooky because they seem to be marketing a lot of their guest list to the younger generations now, which sure, we're not really in touch with, I guess. You know, your Twilight and your Lisa Frankenstein and, you know, Friday the 13th in 2009, which, I mean, have any of us seen that movie?
Oh, I've seen it many times.
Really?
Yeah, actually, I like it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can't speak one way or the other because I've never seen it. So
what's his name? Guy who plays Jason.
Derek Mears.
Derek Mears. I fucking love that guy. Derek Mears.
Derek is cool.
Hilarious. Very nice guy. Just really, really cool. And if you have a chance to sit down and watch the Friday the 13th documentary that takes you through all the movies, all the way through until Freddy versus Jason, he's got some really good stories from the set of that movie.
Okay.
It's like an 8-hour watch to watch that documentary.
Sure.
There's that one, and then there's Never Sleep Again, which goes over all the nightmare stories, which that one is amazing.
Yeah, I was like, that's more my wheelhouse, but yeah.
By the way, just to interrupt, as far as we're talking about, you know, guests that we'd like to see, I think Will also supports me when I bring up 900-foot Jesus. And Will, just to let you know, I believe he's a resident of Dallas these days. I know he was from Atlanta and then he moved to Dallas, much like myself. I'm not sure where he is, but the last time he performed, it was actually in Dallas. So, you know, MC 900-foot Jesus for more conventions, everybody.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, Friday the 13th, the 2009, the whole cast is going to be there, which I had forgotten that they actually do have an audience. But I think, like they're going after the younger audience, which unfortunately, you know, I mean, let's see. We hate it when it's treated like assembly line. That's exactly what I'm saying.
It's called Crystal Lake Memories. Yep, that's it right there. That's the documentary. It's really good. It just goes over literally 11 movies. And Thompson Eating Always Steals Pizza.
You know, so I mean, are we going to tell that story, or are we just going to say, "Come ask us about it at Spooky"?
Yeah, come ask me about it because I've already told that story a billion times.
Story like 30 times on this show.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you haven't heard it yet, that's your fault. You should have been tuning in more often. Sorry, fuck you. You know, there are benefits of watching every episode, okay? And they're all available on YouTube. So if you want to know why Tom Savini steals pizzas, guess what? You can check that out, or you can buy me a drink and I'll share. So
that's true.
That's right.
Yeah. You buy me some Wawa, you know, I'll share too, because Wawa's got some good food. And that's something we're actually going to get into on the next episode. And, you know, we've done it before and we're going to do it again because we are getting a bunch of new people in. Basically, a couple weeks before the show, we go through what you should do, what you shouldn't do, what you save your money on, what you spend your money on. And we give you all the tips to make, like, Camp Spooky a fucking amazing weekend. So
For those of you watching now, I'll just say take advantage of the Wawa that's next door, but also be aware that everyone else is taking advantage of the Wawa. The lines are long.
Get the app.
So just be aware. Be aware. Use the app. Get some.
Somebody might want to go over there and give the manager a heads up a week before, because they never seem to know what the fuck's going on at the window.
Well, it's international.
So by the second day, they're out of food. They've got nothing good left. So
this is
if
also
I was
true.
Down there, I'd go down to Wawa and be like, "Listen, guys, big convention coming up. You all need to be stocked."
Yeah,
So
especially at 2 in the morning.
Seriously.
Yeah, especially at 2 in the morning. You know, Cuban at 2 in the morning is something that a lot of people are going to do.
Yeah.
So
also hanging out in their cooler is fun.
Yeah, which is something we haven't really done. We need to get a picture in the cooler this time around.
We've been talking about getting a group picture in the cooler for like 5 years. We never do.
Your cooler or their storage cooler?
Their storage cooler, like where you go in to get the beer and stuff.
The beer cave. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so that's
Nice and
that's
cool
our little secret there. If you can't find us, that's where we'll be.
Yeah, hanging out the Wawa.
Yes. Hey, you know what? We're classy people. There we go.
Rob, is that your rape whistle sitting there on your thumb?
You know what this is? Somebody I'll show you. This is for my real job. I buy tchotchkes to give away at corporate conventions. And someone tried to get me to buy this. It's a metal hanger. It's a bottle opener right here. And then it's a metal straw on the inside that also comes with a cleaning. So you can,
Wow.
So the urethra?
Yes.
That sort of thing? Yeah.
For sounding. That's what this is for.
Swabbing.
So sorry, I always have to fiddle with my hands with something. So I don't know.
That's how you lost your pickle. So
I do this.
Your yodeling pickle's still missing. So
it's my rape whistle.
Yeah, I don't even know what the fuck happened to the pickle, but it's not up Rob's ass because he has had a colonoscopy recently.
I did just have a colonoscopy. So, it's fantastic. I recommend everyone having one.
I'll tell you what.
People who've had colon cancer, folks, if you're a male of a certain age, you need to go get it done.
In all honesty, that is true, unfortunately, because we have seen way too much of the big C around spooky. So yeah, get checked regularly, get early, get checked. Absolutely. We go from urethra penetration to colonoscopies. And this is what the service we provide you, people.
You're welcome.
All right. So what is this, Rob? What is this belated Rex Manning Day?
So Rex Manning Day, we just had it. It was the same day as the eclipse, as a matter of fact. I hope you all celebrate.
Rapture?
Yeah.
Sure.
They don't take the right people. I keep waiting for them just to take their followers back.
I wish.
God, that would be nice. Wait, what? The fuck? Okay, that's all that needs to be said about that. But during the eclipse, we had Rex Manning Day. The eclipse was pretty cool, even though Florida only got, I think, 56% totality or whatever.
Something like that. We didn't get the whole deal. Matt got much closer up in New
That
York.
was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was very cool. Very cool. I couldn't see anything because it was so cloudy, but it did get pretty fucking dark for about 2 minutes. And it was really weird watching it just dim to black. And then it was daytime again. It was really weird.
Bye, Lee.
Yeah, and actually seeing the videos of totality, I mean, that's one of the great things about the internet is being able to see those experiences, and that was really fucking cool.
Well, it actually went my alma mater actually had it go over, like the totality was right over that. So there's tons of pictures on my LinkedIn feed from the school now, just saying, look.
That's pretty fucking
cool. Very cool. The next one's not till what, 20?
It's another 20 years. Mm-hmm. 20 years in North America. I'm sure there's another one somewhere else.
Yeah, they have them all over the place, but it's just a matter of having one here.
So it's a real movie.
Okay. Got it. It's a Fred Olen Ray movie. Got it.
Fred has more taste than that.
Does he now?
No, he doesn't. But
okay.
He's probably wishing, hey, I could have thought of that.
Oh. But okay. Yeah, I'm eating while I'm on here. All right. So, do we have like a game or anything?
We do. We have a game.
We have a game.
And so we have folks, there seems to be a pretty big audience in here for a change. So, hey, okay. Psycho Gorman that's a good movie. I like Psycho Gorman.
I couldn't stand the chick in that. I wanted to kill her the entire movie. But
the little girl?
Little girl, God.
The chicks? Little girl.
Shut up.
Yeah, she was irritating, but was supposed to be. So I have a list. Today we're going to be playing the Rotten Tomatoes game.
Okay.
For those of you not familiar, the Rotten Tomatoes game, I have to, or everyone guesses the score that a particular movie got on Rotten Tomatoes. And to remind you how Rotten Tomatoes works, it's an aggregate of a general, is this good or is it bad? It's thumbs up versus thumbs down. An 87% doesn't mean it's the 87th best movie or it's that percentile. A movie that gets, 99% doesn't necessarily mean it's the greatest movie. It just means generally everybody kind of likes it. The example I always give is the Kevin Kline movie Dave, where he played the President of the United States. Dave has like a 99 or 100% ranking on Rotten Tomatoes because it's a good, inoffensive movie. Everyone's like, that's good. Does that mean it's a great movie? No, it just means everyone kind of likes it. So,
just a little quick interjection though. It's like and we're going to go into this next week, but little fans, make sure you bring these with you to Spooky. This is going to save your life because May outside Florida, death. This will save your fucking life. Just go and pick up like a $10 little, hand fan.
One of those, or go on Amazon and get one of the ones that sits on your neck and blows up in your face. Those things are awesome, and you don't have to carry them.
Yep, it's fantastic. And trust me, at the Wyndham, you're going to thank yourself for it because sometimes the air conditioning does break in there. So, letting you know now, pick one up now.
Is questionable at best. Okay.
Yes, but anyway, we'll get into that next week. Anyway, continue, please.
Yeah. So the thing, I started going down two different paths, but I've got a list, and it's basically a cross between movies that are featured at Spooky and some that aren't, or people that are at Spooky. Yeah, you'll figure it out soon enough. So, Friday the 13th, the 2009 version. How do we think that scored on Rotten Tomatoes?
13%.
60.
Oh, okay. Big discrepancy there.
That is a discrepancy. That's it. Let's see what the Peanut Gallery has to say. Peanut Gallery, what do you think? Friday the 13th, the 2009 edition scored on Rotten Tomatoes. So we got.
What's the husband say?
Yeah, we got.
What's the husband say? That's important.
We got 25%, 40, 65, 72. Folks. Friday the 13th, the 2009 version. Well, Demi and Matt, you said 65. Demi, you said 13?
13. Mm-hmm.
Justin got it right on the money because he's cheating. It is 25%.
I know. See, that's the whole thing. We know y'all cheat, okay? That's no fun. We know you're doing it.
Don't do that. 25% for Friday the 13th, 2009. Now, just going down the rabbit hole of wonderful Friday the 13th movies. Jason Takes Manhattan.
98%.
Greatest kill of all time.
Uh-oh.
That's what it got.
Got a 1.
right. Anticipating, like waiting for the, okay, 1.
Oh no, that was my answer.
Okay.
Like fat finger.
All right, Demi, what do you got?
What did I say? 98%.
98% for Jason.
I know I'm wrong. I don't give a fuck.
Will is at 69. Justin's at 25. Allison 30. Davey 60. Robbie said 10. AJ says 39. AJ, how you doing? Folks, Robbie wins this one. Jason Takes Manhattan. I think that was Friday the 13th, 5 or 6?
No.
7.
8. 7. 8.
8. Anyway, 11%. So, Matt, if you'd done this and this, you would have gotten it.
So you were halfway there.
And then Friday the 13th, the original, the OG.
Well, that one I'll give probably about 75.
Yeah, I was going to say 69.
69.
Yeah.
Let's see. Peanut Gallery, I got a 45%, 88.
There's a lot of like finger sexual gestures this show, man.
71.
I think we've gotten every single one of them. Yeah, okay.
85, 60. Husband says 50. Davey says 43. Demi gets this one. Friday the 13th original was certified fresh at 66%.
Ooh, sounds about right.
All right. Now, venturing back to our spooky guest list, Lisa Frankenstein.
That's going to get like a 98 because it's all a bunch of kids watching and going.
Yeah, and that makes me weep for the future. I know I'm going to be wrong, but I'm going to say 3 because that's what it deserves.
3 from Demi. 0 for Will. No.
Exactly. We went through the whole plethora of different sexual gestures with fingers. There was a lot of fingering.
That's what happens when you miss being on the show.
Mm-hmm. Well, we got to have you back. Thank you, Robbie. Okay, see, it's not just me. Oh my God, Lisa Frankenstein was so bad. I had to watch it. It was kind of like Repo the Genetic Opera, where I had to watch it in 5-minute segments to be able, for over 2 weeks, to be able to finish it. Oh, so bad.
All right. Well, age. Matt, did you guess?
What was the movie? Oh, Lisa Frank. Yeah, I said it 98.
98. That's what I thought. All right. Well, folks, AJ's got this one. It is just fresh at 51%.
No, 12-year-olds writing this shit.
All right. Now the next is the Alice Cooper classic, Wayne's World.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Prince of Darkness. I was about to get real excited.
Yeah, he did Prince of Darkness too.
Oh, he was amazing in Prince of Darkness.
Justin, technically, it's anything above 50 is fresh. Below 50 is not. I'm not going to go with the middle grade. But yeah, Wayne's World. What do you think Wayne's World did?
Oh, shit. 84.
84. Matt, what'd you say?
80.
80. Okay. Husband says 75. Allison says 97. We got a 45. Yeah. We got an 89, 80, 46.
Jeez, we're all over the place.
46. Yep. Wayne's World is fresh, although not as fresh as I would have thought, but I guess a lot of people really did not get it at the time. 79%. So that one goes to...
That's a shame.
That goes to Will. And Matt, you guys, I think...
Yeah.
There, you can share it. Share the prize.
You can have half.
Yeah, get that half point for nothing.
It's important. It's important to have standards.
Yeah, and the last. Now, I know most people here haven't seen this movie, but the fact is, I have to. It is part because we had guests from the film at Spooky Empire this year for the May show.
Blair Witch.
The Greasy Strangler. Oh. The horror comedy, The Greasy Strangler. The Gaping O.
Can I go into negative numbers on that?
The Greasy Strangler. Let me real quick read the synopsis of The Greasy Strangler.
Yes, please do.
Go for it. You don't want to, William. Don't bother.
Let's see. It's a 2016 American Black comedy horror film. It's a love triangle between a father and son who live in the same household and a new woman who comes into their life and the drama that ensues.
Putting it lightly. You want to see old man dick running around for an entire movie, then feel free.
I can watch Hereditary for that shit and get something for my money, you know?
No,
18, 17, 0, that movie.
Minus 45.
So this is where I suspect there's some fixing going on. The Greasy Strangler is rated fresh at 62%.
Yeah, no.
Jesus Christ.
I call bullshit.
2009.
Robbie is right. They owe us points.
Miles above that.
Wow.
So there you go, folks.
Well, then, if I may, can I throw one in? Can I see what Late Night with the Devil?
Late Night with the Devil.
Just because I think this movie's fantastic and I don't give a shit what Rob says. Late Night with the Devil, if you like 70s horror, you will fucking love it.
All right, Late Night with the Devil. Yeah, it was...
I'm going to say the 82%.
82% for Late Night with the Devil, which we discussed on our last episode.
And I'm going to keep discussing it because it's a great movie. And until Maxine comes out, those of you that have seen X and Pearl...
Oh, I didn't set those two.
Yeah, X and Pearl. X was great. Pearl, not so much. Maxine is coming out, and it looks 80s spectacular. And Ty West.
Pearl was interesting. It's a really good performance. The movie's just not that interesting.
No.
But it's a character study.
But it was a valiant attempt. But Maxine, you haven't seen the trailer for Maxine. Maxxxine. Trust me, go look it up. Mwah. So until that comes out, yes, I'm going to be talking about Late Night with the Devil. So.
All right. So Late Night with the Devil. Demi, what'd you get?
What did I say? 82?
82. Matt?
70.
Well, Demi, you get this one because Late Night with the Devil is certified fresh at 97%.
Beautiful. Mwah. I'm telling you, people, don't listen to Rob. He's got a metal cleaning thing that he's doing. Don't listen to him. Trust me, Late Night with the Devil, if you love 70s horror, mwah, fantastic. X was interesting. X was fantastic. X was great.
Justin, you won that one. You won the game. Congratulations.
Woohoo! All right. So there you go. Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. He's doing up there trying to find the pickle. So, all right, guys. Well, we thank you very much for joining us this evening. Keep an eye on the Facebook page, blah, 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 whatever. And we will see you guys next week when we start talking about shit for the Wyndham. So with that, fuck you.